Pirates might be fearless, but their greed often blinds them to danger. Some even end up targeting the wrong ships, leading to disastrous consequences. So get ready to witness moments when Somali pirates found themselves clashing with the wrong navies. A collaborative effort between US and Colombian forces in July 2019 struck a major blow against drug smugglers in the Pacific. Targeting a suspicious vessel, the authorities launched a raid that resulted in the arrest of 4 individuals and the seizure of over $165 million worth of narcotics. The operation underscored the power of international alliances in disrupting illicit trafficking. The confiscated drugs were later destroyed, marking a victory in the ongoing battle against the drug trade and sending a clear message to those who profit from it. Rival rescue.
The Indian naval forces came to the rescue of 19 Pakistani sailors from Somali pirates who hijacked their fishing vessel.
In an intense story of courage, the Indian Navy stepped in to save 19 Pakistani nationals who were taken hostage by Somali pirates in the Arabian Sea. When the crew on the ship managed to send a desperate SOS, the Navy quickly jumped into action. A warship full of elite commandos was sent out to track them down. When they got to the scene, a tense standoff happened, leading to the capture of some pirates, while others made a quick getaway in speedboats. Thankfully, the crew was rescued without any nicks and received medical help from their rescuers. This mission really highlighted how nations can come together and act decisively when it counts. Red-handed.
That is the big one. That's the big one.
While patrolling Somalia's coastline, the vigilant crew of the USS Gonzalez caught sight of a vessel that seemed out of place. Acting on their instincts, the destroyer's team moved in, boarding the craft for an inspection. Their suspicions were confirmed when they found 9 armed pirates on board. The intruders surrendered without resistance and were brought aboard for questioning. The operation culminated with their transfer to Kenya for prosecution. This seamless takedown highlighted the effectiveness of international naval cooperation in combating piracy. Pirates parry. Back in 2009, Somali pirates made a bold move targeting the German warship FGS Spessart near Somalia's waters. Armed and speeding in their small craft, they seemed confident, but their opponents were more than ready. The Spessart's crew, with reinforcements from the EU's Atalanta mission, launched a fierce counteroffensive that forced the pirates to retreat. Following the skirmish, 10 pirates were captured and handed over to Kenyan authorities for trial. This encounter served as a stark reminder that piracy often meets with swift and decisive defeat. Lifeline in the Gulf.
A Chinese destroyer patrolling off the Somali coast has rescued a Greek merchant ship near the Gulf of Aden.
A dramatic scene unfolded in 2009 when Somali pirates targeted a Greek vessel in the Gulf of Aden. The crew's emergency signal reached a Chinese Navy ship patrolling nearby, which sprang into action. Armed and prepared, the Chinese naval team intercepted the threat, forcing the pirates to retreat. The Greek ship and its crew were secured without further incident. This successful rescue underscored the importance of international cooperation and proactive naval strategies in deterring piracy. The Chinese Navy's quick response turned what could have been a disaster into a moment of triumph on the open sea. Unyielding watch. In 2010, the Chinese Navy bolstered its anti-piracy efforts in the Gulf of Aden, one of the world's most dangerous waterways. During a routine patrol, a distress call led the naval team to a ship in peril under invasion from Somali pirates. Despite their rapid response, the aggressors had already fled with their loot. However, the crew was safely rescued thanks to the Navy's vigilance and readiness. This operation reflected China's dedication to maintaining maritime security and protecting global shipping routes, even when success isn't measured by arrests but by safeguarding lives. the $3 million ransom. On November 15, 2008, Somali pirates executed a daring capture of the MV Sirius Star, a massive Saudi Aramco oil tanker in the Gulf of Aden. The ship, carrying a full load of crude oil and stretching 300 meters, was an irresistible target. With its multinational crew under their control, the pirates initiated tense negotiations. Weeks later, a $3 million ransom was agreed upon and delivered dramatically via parachute. On January 9, 2009, the tanker and its crew were released. The incident, a blend of audacity and strategy, demonstrated how even the largest vessels were vulnerable to the cunning of Somali pirates. The endless ordeal.
2 Indian traders are on their way back freedom after being held in China, but what about the 6 Indian sailors held captive by Somalian pirates?
On March 29, 2010, the MV Iceberg became a grim record holder in piracy history. Hijacked near the Gulf of Aden, the cargo ship faced a ransom demand of $10 million. With the ship's owner abandoning negotiations, the crew endured nearly 3 years of captivity, surviving on meager rations. Finally, on December 22, 2012, the Puntland Maritime Police Force stormed the vessel, freeing 22 crew members. After 1,000 days in captivity, their release became a testament to resilience, though it highlighted the complex nature of piracy negotiations.
And first, for almost 3 years, we've never stepped on land. We got there, we got on our knees to thank the Almighty God for our life.
Cargo rescue.
The Indian Navy has rescued the crew of a Liberian flag merchant vessel. All 21 crew members, including Indians aboard the cargo ship, have been rescued and are safe.
In January 2024, a Liberian-flagged bulk carrier, the MV Lila Norfolk, fell victim to armed pirates in the Arabian Sea. An SOS reached the UK maritime trade operations, prompting the Indian Navy to launch a swift rescue. Deploying INS Chennai, drones, and elite Marcos commandos, the operation unfolded with precision. The crew, safely locked in a citadel, awaited rescue as the commandos secured the ship. Though the hijackers vanished, the vessel and crew were saved. A flawless operation that reaffirmed the importance of rapid response in combating modern piracy. Not the ideal start to the year, but a successful rescue nonetheless. Minicoy Clash. Even the fiercest storms can't drown out the resolve of a determined crew. In January 2011, the Battle of Minicoy Island showcased a bold stand against piracy. Somali pirates aboard the Prantalay 14 mothership targeted the MV Verdi, a Bahamian cargo ship. Indian Coast Guard aircraft intercepted the pursuit, forcing the pirates to retreat. Naval ships, including INS Kalpani and CGS St. Kalb, joined the chase, leading to a grueling 12-hour battle. The Prantalay 14 was eventually sunk, and its crew was rescued. While justice was served with prison terms, questions lingered about the adequacy of international anti-piracy efforts. Frigate Frey.
The attack was unsuccessful. Pirates are using one skiff with 7 POB on board. All vessels are requested to report suspicious activity or possible piracy.
The German Navy's FGS Spessart, a repurposed civilian tanker, found itself in an unexpected battle against 7 Somali pirates in a tense standoff on the open seas. With 40 civilian crew members and a 12-man security team, the Spessart was armed and ready, but the tide turned dramatically when a multinational fleet, including HNLMS De Zeven, HS Pisara, SPS Victoria, USS Boxer, and Rhineland Pfalz joined the pursuit. The chase unfolded like a scene from a maritime thriller, culminating in the pirates' capture. Once handed over to Kenyan authorities, they faced a 5-year prison sentence, a stark reminder that piracy has no safe harbor when faced with collective might. Hostage freedom. In October 2009, British couple Paul and Rachel Chandler fell into the clutches of Somali pirates while sailing through the Indian Ocean. For over a year, the couple endured grim conditions, held captive by their abductors who demanded a staggering $7 million ransom. Their plight became a symbol of the perils lurking on open waters. After prolonged negotiations and a ransom raised through private funds, the Chandlers were finally freed in November 2010. Their release ended a nightmare and brought relief to loved ones who had been living on edge. This case underscored the human cost of maritime piracy. Storm shadows. December 14th, 2023 marked a harrowing ordeal for the crew of the MV Ruan, a Maltese-flagged ship ambushed by Somali pirates. Despite barricading themselves in a safe room, the pirates broke through, seizing control. The Indian Navy quickly stepped in and evacuated a crew member. Months later, on March 17th, 2024, Indian Naval Commandos conducted an audacious 40-hour raid, parachuting into action to rescue the remaining crew members. Arresting 35 pirates who planned to use the vessel as a mobile base, the operation became a defining moment in maritime security. Justice, as always, sailed in. Night Reclaim.
My job as a humanitarian aid worker was to spread the word throughout the region about landmine safety.
Jessica Buchanan and Paul Hagen. Thisted's lives changed forever on October 25th, 2011, when Somali pirates captured them in Galkayo, Somalia. For months, the humanitarian aid workers were held in brutal conditions, with freedom seeming like a distant hope. But everything turned on January 24th, 2012, when U.S. Navy SEAL Team 6 executed a daring nighttime rescue. The operation was flawless, swift, silent, and surgical. Buchanan and Thisted were brought to safety, ending their torment. Jessica later shared the emotional journey in her memoir, Impossible Odds, shedding light on their resilience and the heroism that secured their release.
With the blanket over my head, I felt hands tugging at my arms and my legs, and I started kicking back in self-defense until I heard, "Jessica, we're here."
Iman Break.
An Iranian fishing vessel was hijacked by Somalian pirates. The boat's name? FV Iman.
Trying to ride a tiger often ends with being eaten, and that's exactly what happens in this case. The hijacking of the Iranian fishing vessel FV Iman became a cautionary tale of overreach. Somali pirates captured the ship with 17 fishermen aboard, intending to turn it into a mothership for further piracy missions. But the plan crumbled when the Indian Navy's INS Trakand sprang into action.
ALH Dhruv choppers on board the Indian warship encircled the hijacked vessel. Indian commandos issued a warning to the pirates, asking them to back off.
Acting on a distress signal, the Navy launched a rapid response operation, deploying a helicopter and a Marine commando team. In a precise and swift maneuver, the commandos reclaimed the ship, capturing the pirates and freeing all fishermen unharmed. The lesson was clear: biting off more than you can chew can leave you empty-handed.
The pirates were disarmed, told to move towards Somalia. The hijacked vessel was sanitized and released for onward transit.
Tanker's Tale. The hijacking of the Monjasa Reformer, a Danish-owned oil tanker, brought the Gulf of Guinea into the spotlight. Somali pirates seized the ship and held 11 of its 16 crew members hostage, believing their plan would yield a lucrative ransom. However, 5 crew members evaded capture and managed to alert authorities. The French Navy and international forces launched an exhaustive search, ultimately rescuing the crew and capturing the pirates. The hostages, found in good health, were reunited with their families, and the failed heist served as a reminder that resilience and swift action often tilt the scales of fortune. Tanker Triumph.
The Nigerian Navy ships in Okpabama and Sagbama have successfully carried out a rescue operation of a hijacked ship off the country's international waters.
February 2016 saw the hijacking of the MT Maximus in the Gulf of Guinea by heavily armed pirates who thought they had struck gold. But their plans unraveled when the Nigerian Navy, supported by regional allies, launched a relentless hunt using surveillance planes and warships. After days of pursuit, the tanker was intercepted in Nigerian waters. Special forces stormed the vessel in a decisive operation, rescuing the crew unharmed and capturing the pirates. This bold mission proved that organized resistance can turn the tide against high seas crime.
And I thank Nigerian Navy a man who told me when the bullet was passing just 5-10 mm on top of my head. He said, "I will give my life for you, Captain. Don't worry."
Rescue Rumble. On April 8, 2017, Somali pirates hijacked the OS-35, a cargo ship flying the Tuvalu flag in the Gulf of Aden. There were 19 crew members on board, and the pirates thought they had everything under control, asking for ransom. But the Chinese naval ship Yulin wasn't about to let that happen.
然后我们突击队第一时间控制舱面，迅速占领制高点，形成压制性火力网，守楼严密布控，确认舱面无海盗威胁后，配合 交替掩护，前往安全舱解救被困。
The next morning, Yulin Special Forces, with a helicopter in tow, swooped in and took over. They boarded the OS-35, rescued all 19 crew members, and caught the pirates. The crew was safely taken home over the next few days. The pirates found out the hard way that messing with the Dragon could lead to disaster.
在行动中，我们安全迅速控制商船，周密细致展开搜索行动，彻底解除了海盗威胁。在整个行动过程中， 我们始终把确保船员人身安全放在首位。
Stowaway standoff. On July 4th, 2023, the Turkish vessel MV Kadir faced a shocking hijacking when armed stowaways seized control mid-journey to Naples. The crew, caught off guard, was held captive until an urgent call for help was answered by the Italian Coast Guard. Launching a high-stakes boarding operation, the response team subdued the intruders, arresting 4 while 2 managed to escape. Fortunately, all crew members were unharmed as the vessel was escorted safely to Naples. The swift intervention showcased the precision and courage of Italy's maritime security forces. Swift defense. On December 17, 2008, a Chinese fishing boat en route to Shanghai found itself under siege by 9 heavily armed Somali pirates. The invaders stormed the vessel, but the crew was prepared to act fast. Their urgent distress signal reached the Malaysian Navy, prompting the warship Sinaraki and a helicopter to rush to their aid. The pirates, faced with precise firepower from Malaysian forces, quickly abandoned their mission and fled. The crew's courage and the military's swift intervention turned a harrowing situation into a remarkable escape. This is a perfect example of how quick action can outmaneuver even the most dangerous threats. High-stakes chase. In 2009, Somali pirates attempted to hijack the Norwegian tanker MV Front Arden in the perilous Gulf of Aden. The crew's call for help was answered by the British vessel RFA Wave Knight, which immediately gave chase, joined by Canada's HMCS Winnipeg and the US Navy's USS Halberton. The pursuit stretched over 7 tense hours as the pirates raced toward Bosaso, Somalia. Cornered and outmatched, the pirates finally surrendered. Though weapons were seized, international legal constraints prevented their arrest, and they were released. The incident highlighted the complexity of enforcing laws on the high seas, even in moments of triumph. Captives freed. In January 2012, the US Navy executed a daring operation to rescue the Iranian fishing vessel Al Malai. The ship had been overtaken by Somali pirates, who used it as a base for over 40 days, holding 12 crew members hostage under harsh conditions. When the USS Kidd responded to the distress call, their elite team carried out a swift boarding maneuver, capturing all 15 pirates without resistance. The relieved crew received medical care and provisions, while the pirates were detained aboard the USS John C. Stennis. This flawlessly executed mission not only freed the captives, but also reaffirmed the Navy's commitment to securing international waters. The Captain's Sacrifice. In 2009, the Maersk Alabama, a US-flagged container ship, faced a harrowing hijack 240 nautical miles off the Somali coast. Somali pirates scaled the ship using grappling hooks, but Captain Richard Phillips made a brave choice, offering himself as a hostage to save his crew. As Phillips was held on a lifeboat, the US Navy launched a precision operation. SEAL snipers took out 3 pirates, rescuing Phillips in a tense finale. This courageous act and daring rescue not only saved lives, but became a Hollywood-worthy tale later immortalized in the film Captain Phillips starring Tom Hanks. Tanks under siege. In September 2008, Somali pirates seized the MV Faina, a Ukrainian cargo ship transporting 33 Soviet-era tanks through the Gulf of Aden. The multinational crew, including Ukrainians and Latvians, was taken hostage, and the pirates demanded a steep ransom for the military-grade cargo. With global attention focused on the ship's fate, negotiations stretched on for months. Eventually, the crew and vessel were freed, but the details of the ransom deal remained shrouded in secrecy. This high-profile hijacking exposed the vulnerabilities of military shipments and the challenges of securing international waters in piracy hotspots. Eyes in the sky. When the sea gets rough, eyes in the sky make all the difference. In 2011, the Indian Navy staged a rapid response to a distress call from the Chinese ship MV Full City in the Gulf of Aden. Within half an hour, a Tu-142 reconnaissance aircraft spotted a pirate mothership near the vessel. Broadcasting warnings from above, the pirates were forced to abandon their skiff and retreat. For hours, the aircraft circled, ensuring no further threats as surface forces secured the ship. This swift, coordinated effort highlighted the critical role of aerial surveillance in keeping international waters safe from piracy. Storming the tanker. A decade ago, the Russian tanker MV Moscow University was ambushed by pirates 500 nautical miles from Somalia. The crew resisted with water cannons and flares, but couldn't prevent the pirates from boarding. Cleverly, the captain secured the crew in the engine room and stashed essential supplies. After a tense 20-hour standoff, the Russian destroyer Marshal Shaposhnikov arrived, deploying a helicopter to secure the scene. The pirates were detained and later set adrift with only basic supplies, miles from shore. This daring operation underscored the value of strategy over brute force in maritime security. Naval nets. In 2009, the French Navy sent a strong message to the rampant piracy plaguing the Horn of Africa. During a routine patrol, French naval forces intercepted 3 Somali pirates wreaking havoc on vital shipping lanes. Their mission wasn't just about apprehension, it symbolized the broader international effort to safeguard global trade routes. In a swift yet calculated operation, the pirates were subdued and taken into custody. Their subsequent trial reinforced the commitment of maritime security forces to clamp down on piracy. The event stands as a testament to vigilance on the high seas and the resolve to uphold international law. Pirate pursuit. Even the boldest pirates can't outrun the long arm of the law. On November 28, 2011, the Royal Navy delivered a decisive blow to piracy off Somalia's coast. While on patrol in the Indian Ocean, British forces intercepted a suspicious vessel linked to Somali pirates. The operation, executed with surgical precision, involved the boarding of the pirate craft and the swift capture of its crew. This wasn't just a lucky break, but part of a relentless campaign to ensure safety on the world's waterways. The pirates' ambitions were dashed, and their arrest underscored a clear reality: no one escapes the reach of justice when the Royal Navy is on watch. Diesel siege. In a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency thwarted the hijacking of a Thai-registered oil tanker carrying 900,000 liters of diesel in 2017. Vanishing in the South China Sea, the tanker's disappearance set off a massive search. MES Special Forces tracked the ship to its hiding spot and stormed it, arresting 10 Indonesian pirates. Despite an intense chase for 3 others who fled by speedboat, the pursuit was cut short due to low fuel in the pursuing helicopter. While the escapees slipped away, the operation was celebrated as a resounding success, reaffirming Malaysia's readiness to defend its waters. Hostage havoc. Greed may set the trap, but courage springs it. March 2014 marked a chilling incident when Somali pirates seized a German merchant vessel, holding its crew hostage while demanding an exorbitant ransom. But the pirates miscalculated the resilience of the Marine Maritime Raid Force. Moving swiftly, the Raid Force carried out a meticulous rescue operation. They stormed the ship, clashing with the pirates in a dramatic showdown. The crew, though shaken, was freed without harm, while the assailants were captured and taken into custody. The operation was a powerful demonstration of courage and precision, flipping the narrative and proving that even the most cunning criminals can be outmatched. Pop deterrent. It's the beat that keeps the bad guys at bay. In a surprising turn in the battle against piracy, the British Navy came up with a pretty wild weapon: Pop music. Yep, you heard that right. Britney Spears' biggest hits turned out to be an unexpected way to scare off Somali pirates who couldn't stand the sound of Western pop tunes. As her catchy songs blared over the waves, the pirates, unable to take it anymore, took off in a hurry. This clever tactic was part of a bigger plan to keep shipping lanes safe, mixing a bit of humor with actual results. It just goes to show that with the right approach, or in this case the right playlist, pop stars can surprisingly help out in keeping the seas safe. Operation Dawn 8. Mess with the best, end up like the rest. And these Somali pirates found that out the hard way. Back in January 2011, they took over the MV Samho Jewelry, a cargo ship with 21 crew members on board. But they weren't counting on the South Korean Navy crashing their little party. Operation Dawn 8 was a quick and no-nonsense rescue. Commandos from the destroyer Rox Choi Young stormed the ship, taking down 8 pirates and capturing 5 more. The crew got rescued and treated, while the pirates faced some serious consequences. This mission wasn't just a success, it was a perfect example of Navy precision. Taipan Takeback. Don't mess with the lion's tail unless you're ready to bolt. And that's what happens here. Back in April 2010, Somali pirates learned this the hard way. They thought they'd hit the jackpot when they hijacked the German container ship MV Taipan, thinking it would be easy pickings. But just as they were about to celebrate, the Dutch Navy ship HNLS Tromp swooped in for a showdown. Dutch Marines stormed the Taipan, rescuing all 15 crew members without a single scratch and snatching up 10 pirates who thought they were untouchable. Those pirates got a one-way trip to the Netherlands, where they faced prison time and realized a harsh truth. The seas can be wild, but karma comes around fast. Battle of the Patino. On January 12, 2012, the Spanish naval replenishment ship SPS Patino had just completed a mission escorting a World Food Program ship to Mogadishu. Anchored off the Somali coast, the crew was blindsided by a daring pirate offense. Mistaking the warship for an easy target, 7 armed men in a skiff approached, ready for a fight. The Patino's sailors swiftly defended their ship, forcing the pirates to retreat. But the drama didn't end there. Aboard the Patino's Esh-3 Sea King helicopter, the crew pursued the fleeing pirates, ultimately capturing them. By 2013, the pirates faced justice in Spain, with sentences ranging from 8 to over 12 years. This encounter served as a vivid reminder: taking on a warship never ends well. French Navy. On October 6, 2009, the French naval replenishment ship Somme found itself in a high seas game of cat and mouse, 286 miles off the Somali coast. Tasked with resupplying another warship, the Somme became the unexpected target of 2 skiffs filled with pirates mistaking it for an unarmed tanker. What the invaders didn't realize was that the Somme was fully equipped for defense. Instead of fleeing, the warship turned toward them, triggering a swift retreat. A skiff carrying 5 pirates was intercepted, and the pirates surrendered. This failed assault showcased the deadly consequences of misjudging a naval powerhouse. Turkish Navy.
Turkey claims it has intercepted a pirate vessel off the coast of Somalia.
November 5, 2009 marked a heroic intervention by the Turkish frigate Gediz during its return from a deployment with CTF 151. While navigating the Gulf of Aden, the Gediz responded to a distress signal from the Greek-owned bulk carrier MV Ice Prince, which was under pirate invasion. Arriving swiftly, Gediz launched a helicopter and dispatched Special Forces commandos aboard a rigid inflatable boat. Despite initial resistance, the rebuttal from the Turkish forces led to the pirates' surrender. Gediz's timely action not only secured the release of the Ice Prince, but also solidified Turkey's role as a decisive force in anti-piracy operations. Open discussion. In 2009, the Canadian warship HMCS Winnipeg answered a distress call off Somalia's coast. Pirates with some heavy-duty weapons started causing chaos on a cargo ship, prompting the Canadian vessel, part of a NATO mission, to act swiftly. A Sea King helicopter and an Italian counterpart swooped in as the pirates turned their sights to a US container ship. Cornered, the pirates surrendered, tossing their weapons overboard. Despite this victory, international laws forced the pirates' release after disarmament. The incident reignited global debates on tackling high seas piracy effectively. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.